first day at the Duluth City Attorney's Office, I briefly introduced myself to my supervisor, and then I was no more than 15 minutes later, I was with him in court, on the record, with a judge, listening to him do a plea deal with the defendant.
I actually have an Excel spreadsheet, and I wrote down the projects that I was working on, and maybe not write down all the details because of confidentiality issues, but just the type of projects that I worked on, and then who I worked for and how long it took, and just so for future projects I would know how long those projects would take so I could allocate time accordingly.
I worked with another U student this summer, and we would often look at each other's work, or just give it a quick proofread for one another if we were I think this sounds good, but what do you think? Even if it was just a paragraph. So lean on one another. Those are the people you'll hopefully be working with the rest of your career.
So I took it upon myself to either get coffee, lunch, or a happy hour with at least one person who I didn't know, or didn't know in that context of working and networking, at least once a week. So it started off as a once a week commitment, and by the end of the summer I probably went to 3 or 4 different events a week. And it was a really great way to get free coffee and free lunch, and no one ever said no. So all you have to do is ask.
Reach out to people for coffee or for lunch, and take that time and be purposeful about it. So ask questions about their work, the different opportunities they've had in practice, what their career has looked like from a young associate to a partner, or from a summer associate to a young associate.
A lot of these attorneys, are busy, but it's not because they don't trust you with the work. It's not because, they're trying to give it to somebody else. But like I said, a lot of the times it's they're just busy and they aren't thinking about you. So if you go to, the people who work in the areas that you're interested in, and if you, ask nicely, hey, do you have any work that I could work on? You'd be surprised at how many people would say, yes, I actually have this research project, or yes, I need help drafting this brief. So it is important to, take the initiative and reach out to the attorneys that work in areas that you're interested in order to get those projects. Otherwise, you might be sitting around and not get anything.
What was really good about doing all of those interviews and those networking informal meetings before OCIs was, first of all, I felt really comfortable having conversations with legal professionals. And second of all, I felt like I already kind of was geared in and had an idea of what each firm was about, what the people were like, and you're also able to ask a little bit more difficult questions that you wouldn't want to ask in an interview setting in one of those informal networking settings, which can really give you an insight into what is different about each firm.
When I was given projects, I would make sure to reiterate what they told me to do and make sure that I understood everything, just in case I misunderstood something or I didn't understand a specific task that I was supposed to do. And so by repeating what my task was and asking questions about specific tasks, I was able to ensure that I was on the right track and doing what was asked of me.
So in order to really solicit feedback, once you find the people within the firm or within the office who are interested in working with law clerks, be specific about soliciting feedback. So when you send them something, instead of just saying, hey, can I get feedback? Say something along the lines of, when you send the final product to the client, can you CC me so I can see the final product so I can see those changes? And then when you go and speak with that person afterwards, you can say, okay, why did you make that change based off of what I sent you? So you can get more direct feedback as to whether it's a stylistic choice or you actually did something incorrectly.
I guess if words of wisdom or comfort that I wish I would have known, or just to remind yourself of going into your summer, is that you've worked really hard. They obviously see your potential, and you're capable and can do it. So just keep that in mind when you're stressed about something. And also, they don't want you to fail because they're investing in you, so don't be afraid to ask questions. No question is dumb. Chances are you're not the only summer associate who has that question.